Hey guys, another day here in paradise. Not really horrible day to do a video, but you know what? I wanted to put a video for you guys together. It's cold, it's cloudy, it's miserable out here, but stay tuned. And the rifle we'll be using today is my American Air Arms Evol 30. This rifle gives me 36 shots when filled to 4,000 psi. It shoots the 44 grain JSB pellets at 80 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. The pellets and slugs we'll be using today are all considered hunting ammo. And something worth mentioning is that this ammo does fit the Evol magazine without a problem. The reason why I bring that up is I have had issues with other branded air guns and their magazines where some of these pellets and slugs don't fit them properly. Okay, so here's what I got going on. I got 2 Boral goats that I have to butcher for my family. But before I do that, I thought, why not do another penetration test? So we got the smaller goat, weighs about 70 pounds. The larger goat weighs about 97 pounds. The distance we're gonna be running our test today is exactly 60 yards. So let's see what the outcome is. I'm gonna aim for right here. And I know my gun is accurate. Punch and paper, that's not a problem. But given a real world scenario where there's gonna be some wind, where the animal is gonna be moving, is a headshot at this distance an ethical shot? Okay, so again, I'm gonna aim right here. Will the slug hit there, number 1, and number 2, will it penetrate? So that's what we're trying to learn on this portion of the video. Let's find out. Oh, and yes, the goats expired already, so no need to worry about that. Alright, so I think you can see both holes there. I said I was going to shoot right at the base of the ear, and there's hole number 1. And then what I decided to do was aim right in between the eye and the ear, and there's hole right there is hole number 2. So you can see both holes, hole number 1 and hole number 2. So it feels like it's part of the skull, both shots. We'll find out exactly. Here's the end, right here is the end of its skull. So in my opinion, that's where headshots need to be placed if he's giving you a broadside shot. Also, they were not pass-through shots. At 60 yards, using a 30 cal slug gun, okay, so test number 2. What we're gonna do is try to take a back of the head shot and see what kind of results we get. Okay, so I decided to take 3 shots in this scenario. So let's say a coyote size animal or a goat size animal decides to turn a certain way where you feel confident on taking a head shot from behind. So I decided to take 3 shots in this case. Again, it's pretty windy. Real world scenario, right? You're not always going to get perfect weather when you're out there hunting. But again, you decide to take a shot behind the head. What if a wind swirl comes in just like it did right now and just when I took the first shot? So let's walk through what happened. I took 1 shot and I felt it went a little high. Here's the first shot right there, and I was aiming right here. Okay, so I'm confident with my gun, but even with these swirls, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I know where my gun shoots in every situation, well, what if you had a flyer? Would that have been a vital shot, or did you just injure an animal? So please keep that in mind when we're out there hunting. That's why I'm running these tests for you guys in controlled situations, so that we can learn and be more ethical hunters. Again, that's the purpose of videos like this. So let's look at the first one. So the first shot I felt was a little too high. I decided to go with the second shot. Second shot is right where my thumb is. Again, first shot is right there, second shot is right there. And I did go for a third shot. I aimed a little bit lower, and I can't, oh, there it is, right there. Right there, I couldn't find it earlier, but right there. So these two shots look pretty dang good. This shot, I didn't feel confident about. This shot actually went through, so I'm going to show you what happened. It hit there, and it came out. There was one of my shots, there's another shot. It came out right in between both shots where I can't find it now. But it actually went through in that situation. So it was the only shot that I got to pass through in this testing. Now we're going to do another test. Alright, and again, this is another goat. This is a larger goat, and yes, it's expired. It's dead already. What I'm going to aim for, here are the two eyes. I'm going to aim for right here. He does have some hair. He does have some fluff. You can see right there. So I'm going to aim right between the eyes right there. We're going to see what kind of results we get. So again, keep in mind, here's the eyes. I got about this much space. My shot is, what, the size of a quarter that I have to do. And then keep in mind the brain is way back here. Okay, so I would calculate, you see where my finger is hitting? I would calculate the brains right there, and I'm going to aim right here. Will it be able to travel that far? And can I actually hit it right here? Okay, again, real world scenario, or about as close as we can get. Let's see what happens. And I did take two shots. You can see one's right there, and the other is right there. So I won't really know until I process the goat exactly what the results were, but here's the middle of the head. I would probably say those shots may have been slightly on the higher side. I may have wanted the shots to be maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe half an inch lower. I think would have been ideal, but actually that's where I was aiming, about right there. But given the wind, it did pull them up some, but they didn't exit. Okay, way back here, I don't feel anything. It didn't exit, so we won't know until we actually process it. And the diameter of the chest cavity of the two goats was about 8 inches. Now this is 8 inches of skin, fat, hair, bones, meat, vital organs, and none of the ammo that we use today got a pass through at 60 yards. Okay, so in this portion of the video, I've processed the goats and I tried looking for the pellets and the slugs throughout the goat. Like I mentioned, none of them were passed through. I was able to recover all of them except for 2 Daystate Howler slugs. Just couldn't find them in there, but none did pass through. Also, what we're going to compare is I took the, using a caliber, I took the diameter of the actual slug, like a brand new slug, a brand new pellet, and the ones that I found inside the goat. So the question is, did they expand? Was it what you expected? Let's take a look. Okay, and before we move on to the next segment, just a few things that I think are worth noting. Number one, my gun absolutely loves the Hades and loves the hybrids. It shoots those the most accurate. Something about the hybrids, so I don't know if you were able to tell, but even from my previous experiences in the 30 cal, I can't speak for a 22 or other calibers, but in the 30 cal, I believe the hollow point is too narrow, and what ends up happening is rather than opening up or expanding, it actually caves in. So it doesn't really, it doesn't act like a hollow point from my experience. So that's with the hybrids. The Nielsen's and the Daystates, they perform the same. They didn't really open up, but they didn't cave in. So meaning they performed the same, they had the same outcome as you could see in the pictures. Something that was interesting was the Zans. So I don't know what alloy they're using or what their formula was, but out of all of them, their hollow point tended to open up. That I thought was pretty interesting. So it didn't fully mushroom out, it just opened up a little bit, and it did have a lot of stuff inside. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The Predator Polymags, to no surprise, expanded. If it did stay inside the chest cavity, if it just hit soft tissue and almost did a pass through, there was no expansion. But when it did hit something hard, it did open up pretty good. However, what I would say is you saw how windy the conditions were. Out of all of them, the Predator Polymag was affected the most by windy conditions. So food for thought when you're choosing the hunting ammo that you're looking for. So just thought that was worth sharing. Okay, and now for the headshots. So you were able to see on the earlier slides what the pellets ended up coming out at. I mean, when it hit hard bone, those pellets flattened out, which was pretty awesome, I thought. So if you didn't catch that, go back and look at the slides, and you'll see I was using the hybrids, and the reason why I use the hybrids is my gun likes to shoot them. They are super accurate with it. So go back and take a look at at the how those slugs came out. They did mushroom when they hit hard bone there. So go back and take a look at that. But now let's look at the skulls. So first we'll go with the smaller goat. All right, so the first couple shots that we took was, here's the ear canal right here, okay, and obviously the eye. We took one at the base of the ear, which was that hole, okay? And as you can see, it looked like the pellet hit, broke bone there, and I found the the slug right out here on the meat. So that was the first shot. The second shot was between the ear and the eye, and that was the entrance, and it didn't break skull there. So kind of interesting situation there. Then we took some back of the head shots, okay? And going back to these two shots, I mean, they'd get the job done in my opinion. So good shot placements there. All right, here. So back of the head, one of the shots I had told you that I felt was a little too high. That was this one. And looking in there, I thought, after digging in there, I thought it was still a pretty good shot. I think it would have taken the animal down. Even though I thought it was high, I thought it was pretty good. However, look how close it was to the base of the horn. So any little wind or stronger wind would have hit that there, and you just, I don't know if this would consider injuring an animal, but you're left wondering, why did that animal take off when I thought I hit it in the head? So something to keep in mind. You would have lost the animal on that one. This shot here, very interesting. So if, you probably won't see it, but this shot actually broke through, and I removed this part so that I can investigate more. Actually came in and I found it in the nasal cavity area. So that was a really good shot, I thought. However, look how close it was to this part of the bone. If I would have hit this part of the bone, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, you could kind of see right there, this part of the bone is very, very thick. And I think, given how it mushroomed and given the other skull, which I'll show you right now, I think it probably would have just fractured. Maybe the particles might have shot in and might have given the animal a concussion, might have knocked it out. But I would question that shot. Also keep in mind, right here, you start the neck muscles very thick. So again, one shot here, yeah, it would have taken the animal down, but very close to just injuring the animal. The second shot over here, yeah, probably would have taken the animal down, but any higher, and you would have blown his horn off, and the animal would have taken off running. The other shot, the third shot, which you could see in the video, was the only pass-through, and I said there wasn't any pass-throughs. This one was the only pass-through. So take a look at that. So let's kind of go back. This was a side shot, and this was a side shot. But why is that one so big? Because the last shot that I did on the head shot, it grazed. So hit here and shot out. I don't know where it shot out of. I don't remember seeing, like, did it go through here and then shot out of the eye? I don't remember seeing any eye juices or anything like that. The eye looked intact. You could go back and look at the video, but I don't know where it grazed off, but it did. So would this have been a vital shot? Very questionable, right? So again, maybe a concussion, maybe would have knocked it out. When you get to the animal, you find it's still breathing. It's down. You'd be able to, finish it off there. But back of the head shots, again, I don't know. Very questionable to me. Side shot, this way. Side shot, I think are good places to shoot. Back of the head, think about it, guys. Okay, and gals. So, all right, that's this goat. Now let's take a look at the larger goat. So this was frontal shot. So here were the eyes. Okay, go ahead and take a look. And I thought the shots were a little high. I would have personally preferred them a little bit more over here, but I don't know if that would have been a good call. I mean, look at inside. This is a cavity, right? The nose cavity, and I'm gonna take this part off right now, but I would have assumed lower shot would have been better, but I don't think so. So let's take a look. I was able to do 2 shots, right? And if you line them up, they look like they're pretty lined up there. But let's see what happened. All right. How can I show you guys? All right. So here's the inside. This is where the brain would have been, right? So there it is there, and the brain's there, right? Okay. So this shot actually went through and hit the brain. And how do I know that? Because of that hole right there. Okay, so I did find the brain, I did find the slug inside the brain cavity. Again, take a look at that. Okay. There, right? So that one did, but notice on the other side, this side, there is no hole. Very interesting. So take a look at that. This shot was not a pass-through, and this shot, I think, would have just given the animal a concussion or would have taken off running, and you would have lost them. So what happened with this shot is it didn't hit the brain. Came in here, and on all of these headshots, I was using the FX hybrid, so they were all the same ammunition, but slightly higher. And for whatever reason, this one did not go through. What happened was, when I cut this off, I actually found the slug in this cavity right here. So note again, the brain would have been sitting right here, and the slug hit this wall and couldn't break through it. It wasn't even fractured, this wall. So I found the pellet just farting around right here. So take a look at how thick that skull cap is. Right there. This one was a pass-through. Wait, no, this one was not a pass-through. This one was. So very interesting results. So out of 2 shots, one would have killed the animal and the other one wouldn't have. 50-50 chances. Is that ethical? I'll leave it up to you guys. Okay, so let's do a recap on today's video. Before I get started, as I've mentioned, these goats, my family likes to eat goats. It's meat. It's meat for us, so I'm gonna butcher it. It's going in the freezer. It's gonna land on our plates. Not a big deal. The purpose behind this video. What I wanted to do is, I have thought for a while that a 30 caliber slug gun is a ethical tool for hunting goat-sized animals within 60 yards, which is, let's say within 70 yards. That's always been a theory. I wanted to test it. I tested it in a controlled environment. And these were the results. You saw the results. So I'm not going to give you my opinion. To each their own. Is a 30 caliber slug, or shooting the Hades, or shooting Predator Polymags, is it ethical to you for hunting goat-sized animals? So think of feral goats, feral sheep, maybe pig-sized animals, coyotes and predators on down. Those are the animals that I'm referring to. What do you guys think? Is it a gun and the caliber, the ammunition, is it up to par according to your standards? Now, that being said, let's be ethical hunters out there, guys. Right now, we have quite the movement within the states where regulations are allowing hunters, air gunners, to hunt game animals and non-game animals with air guns. Let's be smart. Let's be ethical. That was the purpose behind this video. Again, this was a controlled environment, controlled situation with real-world weather. It's freezing. You see how bad the wind's blowing. Can your gun perform in these kind of environments? Are headshots ethical in such wind conditions? Again, keep in mind, headshot, the head's going to move a lot more than your body. So the animal could be staring at you for a couple of seconds, and in a split second turn, are you going to miss the brain? And in animals like this, we're looking at a golf ball sized target. We took different shots at different angles with the head. We took frontal, we took side, we took back. You saw that in some cases the wind did move the shots. So I hope that this information is useful to you guys, so that it'll make us more ethical hunters out there. We don't want to be injuring animals regardless of what you're hunting out there. We don't want to be injuring animals. We want to be ethical. We want to take ethical shots. We don't want to get a bad rap. So hope this information is useful to you guys. Let's apply it in a logical and ethical manner, being sportsmen that we are. So again, hope you enjoy it. We'll be doing more testing, more hunting, so stay tuned. I apologize, it's freezing. My lips are numb. So see you guys on the next one.